Hey everyone, welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling. Thank everybody for watching this episode. I've been planning this one for quite a while, quite a few weeks, as a lot of you know, because I've reached out to a lot of people and have heard back from quite a few. And this is a different kind of episode for me because I don't. Anybody who watches the show knows I don't do negativity. And if people don't like something, that's fine. And bands that I don't feature, that I'm not a fan of, I don't waste anybody's time talking about why I don't like them or if that I don't like them. I just don't see the point because anybody's least favorite band is probably somebody's favorite. So I just don't, for me, it just doesn't work. Uh, but there's a band and the band we're going to be talking about today that I think, and I'm just going to voice my opinion here, takes an awful lot of crap from people and people that I like and respect a lot, that never got on board with this band. And I know that timeline has a lot to do with things, and sometimes you just don't get why certain artists catch on, especially if they catch on in a huge way and they're everywhere and you hear them on the radio and the videos were played everywhere, which is certainly the case with this band. Of course, I'm talking about Bon Jovi, if you've read the read the byline here. But this was a band that I got into, with when most of the world did. I wasn't exactly a day one fan. That wouldn't be, fair. That wouldn't be honest for me to say. It was when I heard "You Give Love a Bad Name" on the radio, and I was absolutely hooked. I talk about that in my Unspooled book, even though it didn't really have much to do with them. But Def Leppard take a lot of crap, but usually with Def Leppard, even people that generally don't like them will give it up for the first three albums. Bon Jovi, there are just people that are very dismissive of the whole thing, and I just wanted to get people to send in their videos to say that, what, to a lot of us, this band means something. This band matters. And, when you're really, really, really popular like they were after Slippery When Wet hit big, you do kind of become an easy target. And when you see John's face plastered everywhere and you get a little tired of it, and I understand that, but I have to say that, and people can laugh all they want, but for me, when I heard "You Give Love a Bad Name" and then "Slippery When Wet" subsequently, that was my Beatles on Ed Sullivan moment. That was my Kiss on the Paul Lynde Halloween special moment. That was everything musically for me. It changed the course. At 12 years old, it changed the course of the music, the base of music that I would want to listen to: melodic, hard rock. And though they changed dramatically over the years, the early albums are so vitally important to me that, it kind of feels like in some ways, they're still my band. And, when somebody trashes them, it's like, come on, guys. We're among fans here. This isn't Sour Grapes, and this isn't meant to be overly serious, but I just wanted to show people like this band. People appreciate what they do. So I've got some friends of mine that were very generous and sent in some videos telling what Bon Jovi means to them, some of their favorite collectibles. Let's go.
Hey everyone, hey Tim from Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Ches here. Tim had asked us to make a video of our fandom of Bon Jovi, being a fan of Bon Jovi. And I am a fan of Bon Jovi. I am a fan of all eras, especially the first 5 albums. Those are my favorite albums. But I do like all eras, and I just want to show a couple of pieces that are kind of unique and kind of my favorites from my collection. So first off, we have the Japanese version of Crush with the Obi strip. Comes with 2 extra bonus tracks, so if you track this down, that's really cool. Something many of you probably seen before, one of my favorite pieces, the deluxe version of New Jersey. This is awesome. It's got a whole extra disc of unreleased songs, got a DVD, lots of bonus tracks. That originally was supposed to be a double album, I believe, and it's all here in this great package here. Really love this one. And my favorite album is the debut album. So here is my CD, remastered CD. But something cool that the band released about a year and a half ago, they released an anniversary edition on vinyl with an alternate cover. You can see it is different than the original. It is on red vinyl. And they also released it on cassette for the 40th anniversary. So we've got that here. So again, really cool. Enjoy all eras of the band. First 5 albums are my favorite. Thank you, Tim. Awesome channel. So grateful every time I'm on with you on the channel. And thanks everyone for watching.
Hey Tim, this is my Bon Jovi Stairway to Heaven Highway to Hell cassette. I found this at Record Vendors. It's from when Bon Jovi went to Moscow. And yeah. It's a part of my Bon Jovi collection. Here we are.
So Bon Jovi, hey? Sure, there's very few bands that are derided as much as Bon Jovi, Poison perhaps, but is it deserved? I really do not think so, and I'm here to tell you why. Hey, it's Mike from Grab a Stack of Rock, and I am here to tell you that I am a Bon Jovi fan. I know a lot of people look at Keep the Faith as sort of the definitive good Bon Jovi album, but I'm actually a New Jersey guy, and I'll tell you why. I think it has a lot to do with Richie Sambora, a very underrated guitar player, very influenced by the blues, by soul, and a lot of that comes out on the New Jersey album. There's a track there called Homebound Train that is just really serious, good rock and bluesy music. There's another one called Ride Cowboy Ride, which is a little acoustic intro that just sort of sets the tone. Oh man, there's so many good songs on New Jersey. I'll Be There For You is a great ballad, but it's so heartfelt. You can really hear that it is a heartfelt ballad. Bon Jovi's musicianship has been overlooked over the years, I believe, Sambora aside, but you have Tico Torres on drums, who's like a metronome. The guy is absolutely unstoppable, and he has a pedigree to show for it. Keyboardist David Bryan has done movie scores, so you can't knock that guy's skills either. As for John, once upon a time, he was a powerhouse of a lead vocalist, going toe-to-toe with Richie Sambora and all those great duets. Again, I'll Be There For You. Fantastic example of the man's singing abilities. Bon Jovi today is a different beast, but the Bon Jovi of the 80s and the 90s... And confession time, my favorite Bon Jovi album is actually These Days from 1995. It's maybe a little slower, maybe a little bit more ballady, but I think there's no more emotion than on the These Days album. It's really fantastic. I don't think there are any weak tracks on there, and there's a couple of rockers on there for those who need them. In short, I like Bon Jovi, and I do not care who knows it.
Bon Jovi. What can I say? One of the biggest bands of the 80s. They've sold, 100 million records worldwide. I was a huge fan in their heyday in the 80s, thanks to Slippery When Wet, of course. But I will be honest, I don't listen to a lot of Bon Jovi anymore. When I do go back and listen to Bon Jovi, it's because of this album. New Jersey. What a album this is. In my opinion, their masterpiece, their best album, full of hits. 5 top 10 singles, I think, from this album, which was unheard of for a hard rock album. 7 times platinum in the US. 2 number 1 songs, including my favorite, and you can see the shirt, Bad Medicine. This is a well-written, well-produced Canadian content here, produced by Bruce Fairbairn and engineered and mixed by Bob Rock. The songwriting, like I said, is top notch, more mature. You know, they're older, a couple of years older, coming out of Slippery When Wet, which was much more of a, you know, straight ahead party album in terms of the songs. This has some amazing singles, as I mentioned off the top. 5 of them went top 10, but there's some really great album tracks on this album. Blood for Blood is probably one of my top 5 favorite Bon Jovi songs, highly underrated. And there's lots of great stuff on this. Wild as the Wind, Ride Cowboy Ride. My favorite song on the album, Bad Medicine, which was single number 1 and had those 2 different alternate live video shots from the audience. Sam Kinison was at the beginning of the video, if you remember that. It's got some great ballads as well. I'll Be There For You, one of their biggest hits, is my personal favorite. And one of the great opening concert songs, I think, of any band, Lay Your Hands on Me. And the video, directed by Wayne Isham, is brilliant, captures the best of this band live. But, you know, track for track, I think this is their masterpiece. And a great album. You know, coming off Slippery When Wet, it's going to be nearly impossible to duplicate the success of something like that. But I think they did. Maybe it didn't hit the same sales levels, but in terms of overall quality, in terms of the sheer depth of songs on this album, more so than I think than Slippery When Wet, the album tracks in this are better. They're much deeper, and overall, I think from, you know, top to bottom, it's by far their best record. Love this album.
Hey Tim, my name's Drew and I'm from Should Have Been on the Album, and I heard you were looking for some videos about Bon Jovi from Bon Jovi fans, and I'm definitely one of them. I got into Bon Jovi through New Jersey and absolutely knew that album back to front, absolutely loved it, used to play it on cassette until the tape wore out. But my favourite album, controversially, is 7,800 Degrees Fahrenheit. That album is a transitional album from their self-titled debut into Slippery When Wet. But the tracks on it are so strong, and it's such a shame that they don't perform them more live. I absolutely love the album, and you can hear the seeds of Slippery When Wet in a lot of the tracks on Fahrenheit. It's just a brilliant album, and one that absolutely deserves a revisit. Cheers.
Hi Tim, Steve from Rock and Metal Invasion here. When I saw your short asking for people who have a love for Bon Jovi to send in a little video, I thought I'd better get onto this. Mainly because I'm a little bit like you, you know, I grew up in the 80s listening to music, but when Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet came out in 1986, it was a real game changer. Really got me into music, really got me looking for other bands that also had a similar sound, really got me into hard rock and heavy metal. So it was a big album for me. And I've recently, of course, you know, been doing rankings of albums for each year. And my number 1 album for 1986 is Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. And also my number 1 album for 1984 is Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi. And my number 2 album for all the years from 1983 through to 1992, so that's a long time, 10 years, my number 2 album for that period is Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Wet just better. But on another day, it could be a different story. But that just goes to show you, I'm a big fan. Here's my vinyl collection of Bon Jovi, lots of 12-inch singles, you know, albums there, all sorts of different stuff. Also got lots of CDs, Bon Jovi. So, yeah, I'm a Bon Jovi fan.
Hey everybody, it's the Snowman with TooLoudTooOldMusic.com. Welcome. I just wanted to talk about Bon Jovi for a second. They get a lot of crap lately, and I think us fans need to be vocal about still what a great band they have always been. Yeah, they've had rough patches and stuff, but who cares? You know, they've still, their music for me it's been a part of my life since I was a young teenager. I mean, I still have the concert shirt from Slippery When Wet. Now, of course, it doesn't fit anymore, but that's okay. I haven't been able to get rid of it. I've always kept it. They have been a part of my musical landscape for a very long time. Followed them from the very beginning with Runaway when I heard that on MTV. And then I've been buying their stuff ever since. I have CDs, box sets, lots of box sets. Yeah, I have cassettes too. And even the new album is on here. See, I still support them even today. And then if that wasn't enough, I have the big vinyl box set as well. So yeah, I'm a fan. I did a whole series on everything in my collection on Bon Jovi because to me, they're great. Whether Richie's in the band or not, I prefer the Richie stuff, but it's okay. They've done some good albums since then. I loved Burning Bridges. This House Is Not for Sale. And even the new album, Forever, I do like it as well. So it's nice to see a band be around that long. It sucks they're not getting the respect they deserve. They've written great songs with great stories that are just a part of my life. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye.
So there you have it. I couldn't have said it better myself. I've tried to. Thanks to everybody that sent in their videos. It's really cool to see that people like different eras of the band, and just like I said, this band means something to people. And yet, and I'm one of those fans. The ironic thing about this is that nobody gives Bon Jovi any more crap than some Bon Jovi fans, and I count myself among that because, to be quite honest, I haven't been that big a fan of anything they've done in 30 plus years, aside from a song here and there. But they'll always be important to me for what they did in the early years. But there are a lot of people that just dismiss their whole catalog, and you're missing out on there. And it could be just, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I just wanted to show that, people like this band, and there are plenty of bands that are hugely popular. Everybody goes on about how great they are. I don't get it. That's cool. And again, this is not whining. This is not sour grapes. This isn't pointing fingers at anybody. I hope this is taken in the right attitude, kind of tongue-in-cheek and kind of lighthearted, saying, okay, you don't like Bon Jovi, but here are some people that do. And like I said, it's funny that I end up defending them because nobody gives them more crap than I do because I just not a big fan of much of what they've done in the last few years. But there'll always be a connection to me with this band. And so I hope you like this episode. Please comment. Please, people are generally really cool with the comments. And let me know what you think of this one. Yeah, this was a fun episode to gather the info for. And I want to thank everybody thank you for submitting your videos. And we'll see you again on Tim's Vinyl Confession. See you later.